Most of us move through the world assuming we have a clear read on the people around us, but investigators and intelligence agents operate on a different premise. They know that most people lack basic situational awareness. We look at our environment, but we rarely actually observe it. We spend nearly all our energy focusing on the words people say, yet research shows that roughly 60 to 65% of all interpersonal communication is entirely nonverbal. The problem with relying on speech is that words are highly editable. They are formulated by the cognitive part of the brain, meaning every sentence can be consciously crafted to charm, misdirect, or deceive. When we listen only to these crafted words, we leave ourselves vulnerable to being blindsided. We miss the subtle signs of a failing marriage, a brewing layoff, or a dishonest partner, simply because we weren't looking for the clues the body was already providing. While the mouth is busy spinning a narrative, the human body broadcasts a secondary physical language happening concurrently, one that is biologically impossible to fake. Joe Navarro built a 25-year career as an FBI special agent by prioritizing physical behavior over spoken testimony to solve high-stakes cases. Whether tracking spies or unmasking killers, Navarro used these observational techniques to detect intent in dangerous individuals before they ever took action. This universal decoding system applies far beyond law enforcement. It provides a reliable lens for evaluating human behavior in business, medicine, and personal relationships, shifting the focus from what people say to what they actually mean. To understand why our bodies are honest, we must look inside the brain. Deep within lies the limbic system, our ancient survival engine. It reacts instantaneously to threats or comfort, firing signals directly down the nervous system before the thinking brain processes the information. Because these reactions are hardwired, every physical behavior they trigger falls into a simple binary: comfort and relaxation, or discomfort and anxiety. The limbic system cannot be cognitively regulated. When a person rubs their neck or bites their lip under pressure, those behaviors are honest, unfakeable neurological leaks of their true emotional state. Effective observation begins with establishing a baseline. This means noting a person's normal state, how they typically sit, their usual hand placement, and their standard facial expressions. Consider a child who normally hugs his uncle, but suddenly stands stiff and frozen in place. That deviation from his baseline behavior is a clear indicator of a hidden threat or a negative shift in the relationship. Once a baseline is established, you look for two types of cues. Idiosyncratic cues are unique to an individual, while universal cues are shared by all humans as part of our evolutionary heritage. These universal tells can have massive consequences. In a shipbuilding negotiation, an observer spotted a subtle lip purse, a universal sign of displeasure. Addressing that one nonverbal cue face-to-face ended up saving the client $13.5 million. Comparing a known baseline against these limbic reactions reveals exactly when a person's verbal story stops matching their internal reality. An isolated gesture, like scratching a shoulder, might just be an itch. However, a cluster, a grouping of consecutive stress behaviors, indicates a significant emotional reaction that the speaker is likely trying to hide. Even more powerful are intention cues. These are the physiological shifts that occur a split second before a person takes a physical action. Navarro famously used this to thwart a robbery. He noticed a man standing near a cash register whose nostrils began flaring, a behavior known as nasal wing dilation. The man's body was oxygenating in advance of taking action. Recognizing that single intention cue gave Navarro enough time to warn the cashier a second before the man lunged for the money. Reading clusters and intention cues shifts the observer's position from merely reacting to the world to predicting and mitigating human actions before they happen. Concerted observation is not a passive trait. It is a muscle that must be continuously exercised and trained. Gaining an understanding of limbic biology and baseline methodology changes how you experience every interaction. Once you know what to look for, you can no longer view human communication through words alone. These skills matter most in the everyday stakes of life, from navigating family dynamics and business deals to connecting authentically with the people around you. By looking past the deceptive illusion of the spoken word, you unlock a secondary lens for the truth, finally giving you the power to hear what everybody is actually saying.